Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Richard, and this is another quick video. I say quick this today, a quick video for Platinum Crypto Academy. Just a bit of a market rundown, a couple of whispers I'm hearing from CME, and also just a bit of a point on a gold crypto debate. I just want to get into that, as well as a massive 55 million whale movement I want to just address. So let's get straight in. So first thing I want to say is that we quite often talk quite a lot of topics on our videos, our articles, our posts that we put out there that are quite, I wouldn't say high level, but for people which are already in the space, as quite a lot of our audiences and clients are people that are asking for support on their portfolios, people who are interested in the space who've been there a while. But I thought over the past week or so, we've actually been getting quite a lot of inquiries about, how to get started if you haven't already. So I put out this article today, beginner's guide on how to trade cryptocurrencies. I go into detail how to get started, how to do all the easy stuff in the market, and also a couple of opportunities in terms of strategies that people can use. And I think that just jump on board, have a look. It's free content. When you get a chance, delve in and have a look. So again, let's firstly talk about the story that I'm seeing at the moment. Now, for all you that know and who've been watching the videos and reading the articles that we put out there, you know that we've covered Bakkt quite a lot, and we've covered CME futures, CME especially. And so why I wanted to approach this is that this article goes into quite a bit of detail. I think it's quite useful for people who are looking to understand gapping on CME futures and how that affects the market. One gap that has occurred recently of this recent jump that we've seen is in the CME futures. There's another gap formed. Now, all of you know that there's that not strategy, but that theory behind gaps that are created, that they always have to be filled. There's one gap currently at 8,500 on BTC, and now another one's been filled. And what this is doing is creating a little bit of concern for institutional traders that this needs to be filled. So there's a bit of bearish sentiment coming through there. And I just wanted to make everybody aware that that is, that's what's going on in the market, and that's what quite a lot of people are reporting at the moment. But what I wanted to talk about relating to CME were the whisperings that we're hearing about Bitcoin options. Now, I believe this is something that's going to take Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and investors, institutional investors, pensions, so on. It gives them a much stronger option to get into a market that's extremely volatile. And I think with the main phrase of, for me personally, with Bitcoin or other, well, no, mainly Bitcoin in this case, already becoming, in my opinion, an emerging global currency. People might argue that you can't buy stuff with it and it takes too long to go through the blockchain. But at the moment, I don't know, really store of value, maybe another term, but it's definitely becoming like any other financial asset. Bonds, stocks, commodities, gold, I'll come on to that shortly. Any other major commodities in the world with a limited supply, I think Bitcoin is developing into a much more, how can I put it? It's come out of its infancy and it's now a teenager, shall we say? So it's almost in adulthood. And to get to that next step, I believe you need things like derivatives on a particular instrument like Bitcoin. So end users can manage their risk appropriately, and investors are able to use these derivatives options to manage risk against other things, including maybe potentially holding Bitcoin. And so this is, we're already getting vehicles into backed Bitcoin through futures. And I think having an option or options, shall we say, Bitcoin options, would be the next step. And what we're hearing in the market, or whispers in the market, is that there could be something as late as this fourth quarter this year, or potentially into the first quarter next year, courtesy of CME. So it'd be great to see other major derivative exchanges like NASDAQ, ICE, etc., listing these particular options. But let's wait and see. I think that'll be the next step, and I want to keep looking out for that, and I'll keep you apprised of that. The next point of news that I wanted to talk about was the fact of this massive Bitcoin transaction. Now, I looked into it a little bit, and it seems to me that everybody's got these whale alerts on and things of this nature. Money's being moved around in massive proportions. I think this again ties in with CME futures and cashing out and so on. I think that people that are moving huge quantities, 55.2 million from an unknown wallet to another, yes, it could have been an over-counter deal, and it could be the case. But it also could be the case of an exchange moving assets around for updates, as OKX has briefly suggested that they moved 252.8 million to unknown wallets due to scheduled maintenance, apparently. Now, scheduled maintenance, that can be a numerous amount of things, but why they're moving that much money, God only knows. And I didn't know that OKX had that much, but it's fair enough. There's good reasons behind things, or if you look into detail, whale alert's always really good to have on your Twitter alert just to see what's going on in the world, I think. So another little tip there for you. One funny bit of news I saw was Samsung to release crypto-friendly edition of Galaxy Note 10 smartphone. Excuse me. And I found it funny that all they're doing is adding a wallet. So you could just go onto your normal iPhone or Android phone and just download Coinbase and have a wallet on your phone. They're preloading a application wallet, and so that's what they're calling a crypto-friendly edition. I think it's just a marketing ploy rather than a real functional asset. It's great that there is a wallet, but I think these companies should be going a lot further really to helping adoption than just putting a wallet that's preloaded onto their software. But hey, every little step matters, I suppose. One final thing I wanted to talk about before I go is I thought this was dead and done now, that investors are Bitcoin is a safe haven. I've written about it myself. Jump over to the blogs, have a look at the articles. Don't know if it's still there because it was a couple of weeks ago now that I wrote about it. It might be on page 2, but the point that I'm trying to make on this is that I hear Peter Schiff of Euro Pacific Capital. He seems to be like the figurehead for the bulls in the gold world, and I think when he's mentioning comments about how he believes that Bitcoin is quite like silver, I'd like to just throw out a couple of facts to not to go against what he's saying, because I truly think that Bitcoin will be a safe haven, or a digital safe haven, shall we say, in several years' time. Right now, it's an emerging potential safe haven, which is where investors will make their most money at the moment. Yes, there's volatile swings. Yes, you could use it potentially as a hedge against normal, more common markets. But I want to just put out a couple of things. Peter Schiff basically said that it's a bit like silver. Now, compare Bitcoin to silver, there's quite a few things there that I want to say, and the reason why he's done this is because he's trying to control the narrative around gold and how it's the only safe haven to keep his assets high. I'm sure he's heavily invested. I don't know how much, but he wants the narrative to be gold is the safe haven. Put your money in gold when the markets are under a bit of turmoil. He doesn't want that money going anywhere else, and so he comes out with a narrative that it's more like silver. We all know that silver's been down over 60% over the last 10 years. BTC is up, God knows, 10,000%. I don't know if that's accurate, but from zero to where it's been, it's up a lot of percentage. Also, I find it interesting that, according to statistics out there, Bitcoin is worth, silver is worth, the industry of silver, all the silver in the world is worth around 50 billion in value. All the Bitcoin in the world at the moment is worth over 200 billion. All the gold in the world is worth, 7 point something trillion, which in my view, again, backs up the claim that we're going to get Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's going to get to a net, market cap of 7 point something trillion, but what I am saying that when you compare gold against Bitcoin, it's got similarities in terms of its, set supply, it's got similarities in the sense that it doesn't rely on traditional market sentiment to impact what's going on with it. And I'm sure that many people would agree with that sentiment. And you know, having figureheads in the space basically try and bash Bitcoin, call it like silver, where silver, yes, it's up 20% over the last, what is it, 2 months for silver. Bitcoin swings 10% on a daily basis in some cases. So you've got to put that in perspective. And what I really wanted to just outline is that gold is a great investment. Gold has been a great hedge against the markets for the past decades that have been going. And I think that one question that I recently got asked from um, one of my family members actually was that where you made money on gold recently, where do you put your profits, or where do you move it to? Because gold isn't always going to continually just go up. Where else would you put it? You don't want to go in the normal traditional markets. You don't want to go in the normal, investment stocks, because you believe that that money that you put into gold was a hedge against that. So you don't want to bring it back into something that you originally hedged against. You want to find other opportunities. And I've spoke about staking opportunities that are in the crypto space, in the fiat lending space. There's loads of different opportunities. But I'll be quite interested to see if there are people can comment or message me privately or whatever. If you've got what do you think is the best way? What do you think is an alternative place to put profits which are hedging against the normal traditional markets? Because yes, great, gold is doing superb right now, but it's everything knows once something goes up, it comes down again, and especially in crypto, we know Bitcoin goes up and then comes back down. I can't imagine gold isn't the same. So the question I'm posing is to people who are going to watch this and content I produce out there: where do you put your profits from a haven investment, i.e., like gold? Do you move into something a bit different, like staking, lending, small businesses, for example? I don't know. I'm just trying to have a little bit of broader thought on portfolios, and it'd be great if I could get some feedback because we can open up a discussion. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy the markets. Speak to you all next week.